Hi there, good morning. My name's Jason.
Hi, good morning, everybody, and my name's Steve. How lovely to see you all. And the sun's shining and everything here, Jay. What's it doing where you are?
It's dull here. I just noticed your sun coming through nice and bright, and it's quite dull here. So we're about
I'm
what,
going to
100,
send you some.
100 miles apart? No, it's not that much. It's about 70 miles, isn't it?
About 70 mile, yeah, about
Yeah,
70 mile, I
70
reckon,
miles.
something like that.
So yeah. Oh well, maybe it'll come
I'll
later.
ship some
Fingers.
your way, mate.
Send some over, mate. Send some over. What are
What
we
are we
doing?
talking about?
We are talking
Oh,
about the case of Nicola Bulley, the mystery of Nicola Bulley. For those that don't know who Nicola Bulley is, if you're tuning in from abroad, well, you may not know. So 3 weeks ago, this young lady, this young mother, took her children to school, took her dog for a walk down by the river in the River Wye, which is Lancashire, and
yeah.
disappeared. They found her mobile phone on the bench next to the river, and they found the dog running up and down. And
Not on
nobody's
the
been able,
lead.
not on a lead, and nobody's really been able to sort of fathom what's been going on. And I feel so much for the family. Not only because the fact that she's gone missing, but also the horrendous comments online. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, it's not just that, Jay. It's the way that things have been handled. So for some reason, the police decided to put out to the public that she was considered a vulnerable person because she had alcohol problems.
Yes.
Why on earth would you? Why would you do that? What's it got to do with it? You know?
I think that so obviously so what happened is the family go on television and do an appeal. You've had the mother and the father, you've had the partner and the father of the two children, and there's been her sister and her friend, and they've all been sort of making appeals on television. Well, of course, that has been pulled apart on social media, and people have put blame on here. I think all these accusations and all this social media interest has spot everybody giving their opinion on what they think happened and what hasn't happened. And I think what they've tried to do is perhaps deflect from the family, saying, everyone's looking for something more sinister. Well, the fact that she's got alcohol problems, they were called to the house the week previously with the health service because of something that had been going on that we don't know about. And I think they've actually said, there's more to this story than, we're searching the river for an accident because that's what we believe's happened. Whereas everybody else in the outside world is looking at the husband or the partner and the family and making all sorts of stories up about them. And actually, if you knew the full story of it, then you probably wouldn't be quite as interested in everybody else. That's what I think.
Yeah. I got to say, even us doing this today, I feel like we're jumping on the bandwagon.
Well, yeah, I do and I don't. But I mean, obviously, when you make a video like this, you're making it for other people to view it. You are. But, I'm going to be very mindful about what I say. I'm not going to pass any accusations to anybody. And I'm not going to use any sensationalist headlining to get people just to click on it, because I don't think that's a fair thing to do. Now, I've been on TikTok is honestly, it's like the sewer of the internet when it comes to this. I mean, I sometimes go on TikTok just for a bit of entertainment, but all of a sudden this Nicola Bulley stuff started to come up, because I wasn't going to talk about this. I initially said we'll shy away from this. But there's been so many people saying, there's been psychics on there telling, they're seeing this, that, and the other. And there was body language experts discussing, the husband's being on television and how he was reacting. And I kind of felt like we should make a responsible video about this.
I like that.
And really try and dampen all this kind of speculation about what happened, and try and be a bit more objective about why the police have done what they've done, what's really going on. And again, you talk about the partner. I mean, obviously, when something like this happens, everybody who knows her is a suspect, and the partner's probably the initial prime suspect. It's going to, that's going to happen. If you look at other cases, and it's somebody who's been responsible for something like this happening, and so he's obviously going to be a suspect. But I think they very quickly eliminated him because I think there was CCTV footage proving him being at home. But when if your partner goes missing in the manner that he has, how do you react? I mean, there isn't a playbook on how you should and shouldn't react. You react the way you do. Some people will be thinking the worst because that's their mentality. Some people are very positive and they've got a lot of hope. And so they and a lot of it depends on the personality of the person. So, he's out there, he's got 2 kids who will, if they don't see what's being said on television, they're going to hear it through their friends at school and all the rest of it. And he's got to go on there and he's got to put a brave face on. And I think I'd be the same. I'd be saying, I'm sure there's a logical explanation. And the other thing is he knows the history, knows what's been going on, she's had alcohol issues and she's had issues with the HRT drugs she's been taking. And he knows all that. So his perspective is a lot different to you and I sitting on the outside or anybody on TikTok going out and making accusations.
Well said, mate. Do you know what? Absolutely well said.
Thank you.
That was a very eloquent and well presented point of view. And you know what? Hats off to you, mate. You're absolutely right. So, yeah, so many horrible things out there, accusations, people saying and speculating, and it's almost like the police have had to ban people now from going there because they're filming like the bench where they found a phone, and it's almost like it's a tourist attraction.
Idiots.
What? You know what I mean? Really? What about that? You're spot on. What about the family that's there waiting and hoping for the best? They don't want this circus outside their door every 2 minutes.
And the friend,
some respect.
There was the friend's got the same coat, and she's going up and down the streets with signs, trying to jog people's memories. She's come under fire, saying that, maybe she's the one on the CCTV and it's all been staged. And they were, oh, look, she's on television and she's got her makeup nice and her eyelashes have been done. And therefore, if that's not an admission, and it's just horrible. And all these people, all the family and friends. I mean, if you were the family and friends of those people, you would be doing your absolute best to try and get information, and that's what they're doing. And all they're doing is getting criticised and accusation. The husband's having an affair with left, right, and centre because he must be, and all these kind of things. And it's horrible. And I really feel for the bloke. Not only is he going through all this kind of, like say, this difficulty with the fact that she's gone missing, not knowing what's happened, and then he's got all the media abuse and people just speculating, and it must be horrible. Poor bloke must be having an horrendous time.
I agree. I completely agree. And that brings us straight round to what social media. It's the best of things and it's the worst. It really is.
But the thing is, what people are like. People have an opinion, and it's a case of, like I said to you, we haven't got the evidence. We don't know what the police know, and the police have been criticised. But I criticised the police in the beginning because there didn't seem to be much happening. But obviously, like I say, now this new information has come forward to everybody else. We perhaps realised that maybe dredging the river was the best thing for them to be doing. They know more than we do, so therefore they're acting on what they know.
I agree.
You have to have. They are trained. At the end of the day, the police are trained professionals. They must be doing something right.
Yeah, yes, I'm with you. They do make mistakes. I mean, that statement that they put out, as I said earlier on about the alcoholism, why did they have to do that? You seem to think it was to deflect some stuff around, but I think that was wrong. But hey, at the end of the day, people are there desperate for information, rightly or wrongly. Why they are, it's pretty all to do with them. I don't know. So they deemed it, we'll put this out, and I suppose in the what do they call it? Full disclosure.
Yeah, I mean, I think the family have come forward and said, we support the police in the fact that they came out and said that. So I think that they understand. It's been explained to them why they wanted to say it, and that they've sort of said they support it. I'm sure I read that. So I mean, going back to what has happened, I mean, I think they've said that all the CCTV points away from the river show no signs of her at all, which is obviously why they were dredging the river. So if The curious thing for me is obviously she was on a Teams meeting, and it would make sense that you'd probably have that on a speaker, and you'd have it on the, you wouldn't necessarily hold it up to your ear if you're going to be on for an hour or whatever. So that kind of makes sense. The dog's the curious one for me, is the fact that it's sat in place. The fact that it's still there,
Yeah,
by the bench. If she'd have walked off somewhere, it would have obviously tried to follow. And
I
then
agree.
also, dog animals are like family, aren't they? If she knew, if she'd planned to do something herself, then she wouldn't have took the dog with her. So falling in the
No,
river makes the most sense to me, really, out of all of
yeah,
that, possibly.
it does. See, the other thing is, apparently, she was actually still logged on to the Teams call.
She was, yeah,
Apparently,
yeah.
so therefore, that's going to be recording anything. So if something, if there'd have been a scuffle, if she'd have been shocked or surprised or something like that,
It
you
was
would have thought
muted.
that would have
It was
picked
it
that
was
up.
it was muted. She was listening. It's one of those
Ah,
where you just listening. And the other thing is, if it's one of these, what meetings are like sometimes, you don't necessarily feel like you need to be paying attention. And if she'd got up, she'd just left it on the bench. Oh, okay, but I don't need to hear this bit, and gone up and started, I don't know, playing the dog's ball or whatever. I don't know. There's so many. I don't want to make sort of presumptions, because, as I said, there's enough people doing that kind of
no,
stuff
because we're going to be
anyway.
as bad as everybody else.
Yeah, of course we are. But
It,
only the dog knows the truth, really.
yeah, that's true.
I'm sure there's some
It's
dog psych. I'm sure there's
incredibly
some
curious.
dog psych. There must be some dog psychics on TikTok. I must have to find them.
Oh, no, you've pulled them out now. So
Yeah,
yeah, there'll be a raft of
they were
them
there
coming.
trying to get a few extra clicks.
Oh dear God! So, I mean, we wish the family the very best and
Of
hope
course we do.
that she's found safe and well.
I hope that she's just sort of needed a bit of a time out and took herself off somewhere, and in a few weeks' time she'll just turn up when she's ready, and everybody will be back to normal. That's my hope for it. Or at least
Yeah, me too.
I just hope that it's not one of these ongoing mysteries like the Susie Lamplugh thing all those years ago that never got solved. Because I think that we talked about Madeleine McCann a few weeks ago, and I think that is the worst thing. Yeah, absolute worst thing.
Yeah. Just on a side note with that, I did notice this morning on some of the news feeds that there's a girl from Germany, although I think she's living in England now, but she supposedly originated from Germany, who thinks it's possible she could be her.
I've seen that.
She has.
I saw her on TikTok. I think she's Spanish. She's got a bit of a Spanish, or maybe she could be from Portugal. She's got a bit of a sort of Spanish voice. The one I saw.
Oh, okay.
And she had something with her eye, and she was showing all these
Yeah.
moles on her legs that she had.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
God's truth, that'd be a revelation if that was found to be true.
Wouldn't it? Well, she's asked for a DNA test.
Yeah.
If the McCann's parents wouldn't mind doing a DNA test.
Yeah, but
So, I mean, wouldn't that be a thing?
But she says she's got no recollection of her childhood. But then, who does really? You know what I mean? I can't remember much.
I can't remember.
Pre 4 years old. I mean, probably seven onwards. You might remember a little bit about, but not really any earlier than that. So
No,
I don't know.
no, absolutely not. No. Although Anne Hegarty off the Chase, the Chaser.
Yes.
She can remember. She can remember like ridiculous 1 and 2 years old and stuff like that.
I remember before I started school, like preschool. So when you start preschool, it's 4 years old, and I remember my next door. So Scott, I've mentioned many times. Scott was my next door neighbour, and he was 6 months older than me. So he started preschool before me, and I remember his mum walking me up to meet him at preschool just so I could have a look. So I'd have been 4.
Oh.
So he'd have started in September. He'd been 4 in the September. That's when he started. I wasn't 4 till the April. So would he have started in September? But anyway, we started at different times, and I remember his mum walking up there. So I'd have been 4, just about 4. That's probably one of my early memories. So there you go. We are moving off to a tangent again.
Yes, we are. We are. Yeah. I'm just wondering, if going back to who we're talking about, I wonder if she had a memory, lost her memory or something. But then surely someone would have seen her wandering around. She'd have
Yeah,
been
yeah.
absolutely,
Her face is
brilliant.
everywhere, and she's got quite a distinctive smile, hasn't she? And I think you'd remember.
Yeah.
I think if you saw her, you would know. So if she's got access to television, she would have seen that. I think it'd be very hard not to come forward and say that
True enough. Yeah.
that you're you're safe and well. Even if it's an anonymous phone call or a phone call to the police or something. But anyway, as I say, we don't want to sort of hypothesize too much. I just hope that she turns up, and I hope that my thoughts are with the family, and I hope the idiots stop making up stories about everybody and let the police do the job.
I do have a story to tell you. I do.
Go on.
It has just jogged something, and you'll be relieved to learn it's not offensive in any way.
I'm not going to have to censor you out. No, like normal.
No. Yeah, but yes, yeah, no. This is a true story. So I both Pam and I knew this girl, woman, whatever you want to say. Anyway, she was seeing this married chap, and they'd made plans to run away together. Yeah. And he made out, and he did. He left for a meeting in Scotland, and off he went, and all the other bits. He attended the meeting, did his meeting, and then he left the car there. This is what just made me think about it. He left the car there, his clothes, and all the other bits of it. Everything was just left there, and she came and picked him up from this hotel after the meeting, and it wasn't until the following day, when he never turned up at the following day's convention or whatever it was, that they started out. So they went and knocked on his door. They went in his room. All his stuff was there. The car was still there. The car keys were in his hotel room, and all the other bits and pieces. And yeah, but anyway, they went to Italy together. Is what they did. And it doesn't have a happy ending, if I'm truthful with you. So about 3 weeks in, something like that, because they were staying in like a hotel, and 3 weeks in, the lady was they were both out laying by the pool and bits and pieces like that. So he said, "I'm going to go and get us an ice cream." Honestly, this is true. So she said, "Oh, okay." Anyway, an hour later, he's still not back getting this ice cream. She goes to look for him, and he'd gone back home.
Wow. So you knew the lady you ran off with?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's not. But that's a bit short-sighted, isn't it? It's not very long-term. You don't think in the long. Did he have a family and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's mad to think that people do that. But then you do hear of people that have blokes, obviously. Nothing to do with this story we're talking about, but sometimes people have two families, don't they? They make up these two jobs, and they literally can live two different lives. But anyway,
I struggled to maintain this one. How the heck could you do that?
I know, crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Anyway, we're going off. We're going off the subject, yeah. But people do strange things out of character all the time. People do strange things out of character all the time.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, everyone was well. Everyone was safe.
Yeah,
it wasn't. Obviously, it caused hurt and it caused upset. But when it came down to the nitty gritty of it, all these people were still alive, and a few bruised egos and a few a few broken hearts, for sure. But there we are. It just reminded me of that story.
So yeah, hope she comes back safe and well. My thoughts with the family, and I really hope that it ends with a good result for everybody. Any more to ask? Completely. Any more to add?
No, I don't think so. Other than to echo your thoughts there, and just wish them well, and obviously, keep everything crossed that she does turn up safe and well.
Thank you very much for watching. Please like, please subscribe. What else have got to do, Steve?
Well, in light of today's somberness, I'm not going to. So press the bell icon, please, which is open.
Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Cheers, guys. Take care.